It's time to predict the scores of week 30 of this 2023-2024 championship season. At the time of recording, on Wednesday morning, there is one game left to play in game week 29, which takes place on Wednesday evening. So these games take place for game week 30 on Friday, the 2nd of February, running through to Sunday, the 4th of February. And we kick things off on Friday evening at Ashton Gate, where Bristol City, the Robins, take on Leeds United. Bristol City now without a win in their last 4 matches in the league. Last time out was a 1-1 draw against Watford, and in the FA Cup 4th round they played out a 0-0 draw with Nottingham Forest. Leeds United in fantastic form at the moment in the league. It's 4 wins on the bounce, the latest of which was a 1-0 victory against Norwich City. So in this one, at home, Bristol City can be decent, but Leeds going forward at the moment look excellent. So I'm just going to edge it to Leeds in a 2-1 away win. We then move on to Saturday at 3 o'clock, where we've got Blackburn Rovers taking on QPR. Both of these sides in the league haven't been in amazing form, but QPR, after a massive run of defeats, have kind of stopped the rot with a win and a draw in their last 2 matches. A draw with the Terriers of Huddersfield in that last outing on the 28th of January. But Blackburn Rovers themselves, in the last match, they also played Huddersfield in their last match because they were in FA Cup action over the weekend, and they drew 1-1. So this one kind of got draw written all over it, hasn't they? Blackburn Rovers, with that win over Wrexham in the FA Cup, will give them a bit of confidence. Will it be a win? Will it be a draw? Tell you what, I'm going to go for a Blackburn Rovers win in this one, and it's going to be another 2-1 result. I think QPR will score in this match. We then move on to John Smith Stadium, where Huddersfield take on Sheffield Wednesday. After a bit of a resurgence, Sheffield Wednesday now have had back-to-back defeats, and in the last fixture it was a 2-1 loss against Coventry, and Huddersfield is now 3 draws on the bounce. So this one, Sheffield Wednesday have been quite difficult to beat of late, apart from that smashing by Southampton. So I am going to go for a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. We then move up to Hull at the MKM Stadium, where Hull, the Tigers, take on Millwall. Hull, of course, a big influx of players doing some real good business in the transfer window. Millwall drawing the last fixture against Preston after back-to-back defeats. Hull got back to winning ways with a 1-0 victory over Sunderland in their last match in the league. In this one, I think it's going to be enough tight. Maybe, will it be tight? Yeah, Millwall always quite difficult to break down, aren't they? But I think Hull will come away with all 3 points, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 home victory. Then we move to Cardiff, where Norwich take on Coventry City. Coventry playing really well. 3 wins on the bounce in the league. A win against Sheffield Wednesday and the last outing. And Norwich losing last time against Leeds. They are at home, where they can be really hard to beat. But I do fancy Coventry in this one, and I think they're going to run out 2-1 winners. A lot of these matches are going to be really tight this weekend. We then move on to Deepdale, where Preston North End take on Ipswich Town. Ipswich, terrible run of form in the league. They are currently in 2nd place, just a 1 point ahead of Southampton, and they did suffer that kind of embarrassing defeat in the end in the FA Cup against Maidstone. A draw in their last league fixture against Leicester, which was a decent result in the end, coming from behind in that one, if I can remember correctly. And Preston North End a 1-1 away draw against Millwall in this one. You know, I'm going to have to go for another draw. Will there be goals? I think there will. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think Ipswich are going to be quite open in this one, but I think they'll score as well. So I'm going to go for a Desmond's. We then move on to New York Stadium, where Rotherham take on Southampton. There's only going to be one winner in this one, and it is going to be Southampton, and I think they'll come away with a 2-0 victory, even though Rotherham got a very credible draw against Middlesbrough in their last fixture. We then move on to Bet365 Stadium, where Stoke City take on Leicester. Stoke back-to-back defeats against Sunderland and Birmingham, and Leicester, it was a draw against Ipswich, wasn't it, in the last round. Leicester, midweek though, beating Swansea. It's not being shown in these results here, where they won 3-1. I think I'm going to go for another victory in this one. I think Leicester will keep a clean sheet, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 away win. We then, talking about the Jacks, Swansea taking on Plymouth Argyle. Whittaker, of course, back to his own stomping ground. Can he go back to haunt them? Plymouth, very good win against Cardiff at home last time out. And Swansea, okay, they did lose against Southampton. So in this one, I think this one's going to end up in a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. Of course, Plymouth's away record this season hasn't been great. We then move on to Vicarage Road, where Watford take on Cardiff City, and I will be in attendance at this fixture along with Nathan. Watford 3 draws in their last 4 matches, just a 1 defeat and 7, and Cardiff now 3 defeats in their last 4 matches. Didn't look great against Plymouth, but they have been signing some players, and we could see the return of Aaron Ramsey in this fixture, maybe on the bench, but we might even see him back in the starting lineup. I think the travelling support though for Cardiff, I don't think they'll lose this match, but it's going to be very, very difficult to back them in a win. So I am going to go for a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline, which would probably be a real good result for Cardiff. And Watford, 3 draws in the last 4. So yeah, I'm going to go for another draw there for the Hornets. Next up, we got West Brom taking on Birmingham City. West Brom in the league now has 2 defeats out of their last 3, and Birmingham got back to winning ways with a 2-1 victory against Stoke. Can they do something in this West Midlands derby? I think they can, and I think they can get a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. We then move on to Sunday, the final fixture of this game week 30. Sees Middlesbrough take on Sunderland, and this one's probably, I think this is on TV in the UK. North East derby, Middlesbrough against Sunderland. Tough one to call. Both of these sides are going to be up for it, big style. Look at that, 2 defeats in their last 3 matches. It was a return to winning ways for Sunderland, and a draw for Middlesbrough. It's always tough though to go to New York Stadium against Rotherham. So in this one, I can see this ending up in a draw. Could be goals, but I am going to go for a 1-1 score draw. So those are my predictions for game week 30. At the time of recording, we don't have the prediction results for game week 29, because, as I said, this is early in the morning of Wednesday, the 31st of January. We don't have the overall leaderboard at the time of recording as well, but make sure you do leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. All the details are in the description if you're not already playing along. But for now, enjoy your championship weekend, whoever you support, and I'll see you all in the next video.